One thing.
Do we have any news this morning?
Do we have any news? I don't know. You got the paper there.
Yeah.
What are you seeing?
Well, I found this article that I was actually specifically looking for here because I wanted to share it with people. It's really an issue that obviously touches close to home for me.
Okay.
I've got here an article by Reed Saxton, and it's an article for the Associated Press. Just found it in the Metro this morning. The title of the article is Model May Change Trump's Pageant, obviously referring to the Miss Universe pageant.
And Donald Trump?
Well, it's actually the Trump organization.
Oh.
So, of course, Donald Trump is, in charge of that organization, but it's not actually apparently the pageant doesn't belong to Mr. Trump himself, but it has to do with the organization. I don't know. This is capitalist stuff that I don't really get. But anyways, I'd love to share a little bit of the article with our listeners.
Great.
A Canadian woman that was barred from the Miss Universe pageant because she was born a male has been given the thumbs up to participate in the contest. And there's a suggestion that her case might allow others like her to take part in the future. Donald Trump, who owns the Miss Universe organization, has confirmed that Jenna Telekova can compete to represent her country, Canada, in the pageant, and he wished her luck in her quest for the crown. Telekova, from Vancouver, had said she was devastated when she was originally told she'd be excluded for not being a naturally born woman. Trump told ABC's Good Morning America Wednesday that Telekova's case may open up the contest to other transgender hopefuls. Probably we'll have to open it up from that standpoint, said Trump. He also added that his pageant had followed the appropriate Canadian and U.S. laws in deciding the matter. The laws are very clear, he said, so based on that about 2 days ago we decided to let her compete, and we hope she does well. Telekova had gender reassignment surgery when she was 19, and she says she knew as young as 4 that she was a female. Telekova said earlier, I do not want any other woman to suffer the discrimination that I have endured. And she added, I was devastated and felt that excluding me for the reason they gave was simply unjust. Jenna's lawyer, Gloria Allred, has urged the Trump organization to clarify its gender requirements. She called the pageant's rule requiring contestants to be born women blatant discrimination, antiquated and grounded in fear and prejudice. She also added the rule is blatantly discriminatory and it's time for Mr. Trump to say he will get rid of that rule. And it looks like that's what's happening.
Wow.
Yay.
Way to go, Jenna. What's her name?
Oh, shoot. I can't remember it. Telekova.
Way to go. This brings up the question, which I've been thinking about a lot lately. What makes a woman? Because I think strictly physically, anatomically speaking, female, male. You're born female or male or, yeah. But woman, that's not how you're born, is it? Woman is definitely learned and portrayed woman.
I would argue, actually. Argue that people are either, I don't believe in a gender binary. I believe that gender is a spectrum. Okay. And I think people are born the way they are, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
I mean, this is obviously...
You mean born the way they are, their personality, like everything?
Yeah, like...
Or their gender, like you're saying, somewhere along this spectrum?
Well, even so, gender and, like a person's sex, like on their driver's license, it really depends on what criteria, in my opinion, that you're using to identify these things. If you're looking at anatomy, then that will provide sort of a clear or a somewhat clear set of rules on who is male, who's female.
Okay.
But then you can also look at personality. You can also look at behaviors and trends. You can also even look at stereotypical gender roles. It's really a complicated thing, and so that's actually why I kind of usually hesitate to try to really define what gender is. Really what it comes down to, in my opinion, however a person identifies, that's their gender. Like, if you were male and you felt like a man and all this stuff, would you go around introducing yourself as a woman? No.
Mm-mm.
And vice versa. Of course, that also wouldn't happen, right? But let's say, for example, in my case, right, even though I have been born with male anatomy, I absolutely identify as a woman. Everything about me is female. Like, if you... And everyone who knows me just knows that I'm a girl, right?
I'd have to say, Misha, you are more feminine than me.
Thank you.
I attest.
Thank you. But yeah, so in that sense, I definitely feel like I am a woman. But then, you know, when I go to a doctor and I want to talk about birth control, for example, then all of a sudden, the birth control pill, Depo-Provera, the IUD, they don't really apply to me. Condoms apply to me. Vasectomies apply to me, right? So, and that's like, really, like where am I on the spectrum? Obviously, somewhere in between either extremities of the spectrum, right? So, yeah, that was a really loaded question, but I hope that helped. At least explain my opinion on it. How about you? What do you think?
Well, I think that our culture raises little boys and teaches them to be boys or men, or teaches them to be a certain way, and raises little girls and teaches them to be a certain way, and we teach them both that you are incomplete and you are complete when you meet the other. Little boys, you're complete when you meet your one woman, and women, you're complete. And I think that's so devastating and hurtful to individuals in our culture, because you have both masculine and feminine inside of you. Everyone does. And it's finding a balance with those that makes you a complete person.
Absolutely.
And so like I think two halves don't make a whole. I think you need one born male to find balance between his masculine and feminine and be a whole person to partner anyone else who's like, and yeah, so that's kind of where I think.
Yeah, I think you're even touching upon the actual imposing of gender roles too. Like, here's something that might actually just rock people's socks. I was talking with another trans woman, female friend of mine, the other day, and we were just talking about sort of lamenting that we could not give birth. And she said that she would love to have a little tranny child. And I know why she said that, because she's just excited about the thought. She thought about it, and yeah, that'd be great. But it kind of, there was a part of me that was like, you know, that's still imposing a gender role on your child, right? Is that appropriate? Like, I don't think, just like forcing a male role onto a male child might not be appropriate. I also think that imposing a transgender role on a child is not appropriate. I think
that's true.
Proper parenthood is to actually
encourage who the child is.
Yeah, find out who your child is. They were born that way. They're not, like, for example, for certain behaviors and like manners and vocabulary, they're going to learn that from you, but they're not going to learn who they are from you. They are who they are. And
when I was a child, I had typical girly things thrown at me. Like, my mom would put me in dresses, which I hated.
I love dresses.
I would get Barbies for presents, and my brother got Thundercats, and I wanted to play with his toys.
And I always went and stole my sister's Barbies and played with them.
Yeah, and exactly. So
we should have traded each other's toys when we were kids.
I wish we knew each other back then.
Where were you?
But there was something else I wanted to add about the gender thing, and it might have gone out of my head. Maybe it has.
Oh, that's okay. It happens to the best of us.
But, okay, so find balance within you, and then how can you... And so then, when you love every part of yourself, you can love anyone. That was what I was going to say, is I've noticed some friends of mine with babies, and they point out that the first question anyone ever asks them is, did you have a boy or a girl? Like, that is the first discrimination we give people. So maybe we should even just eliminate the are you male, female box on the driver's license and job applications. You're a person. Does it really matter? And so I love that some people now, when they have a baby, they call it it.
Well, no, and I think you're right, because on a driver's license, it's for the purpose of identification, right? There's a picture on there. There's the person's signature. There's their birth date. There's all that stuff. I've never had a police officer insist on pulling down my pants and seeing what I had between my legs when they were trying to identify me. So really, what does that even why is that even on our identification?
Exactly. It doesn't really tell you anything. You mean you could be a male or a female or a transgender and still be a serial killer?
Yeah. Or a eunuch, for that matter.
Or a peaceful person. I mean, there should be a box. Are you a peaceful person? Or are you a violent? Are you a non-violent person? Like, that would be more information.
That's almost more pertinent. Yeah. I would just like to invite everyone to look at page number 7 in the Metro for the week of April 5th to the 8th, and just take a look at the picture of Canada's Miss Universe pageant contestant on there, and just let me know, don't let me know, but I just want you to think about it to yourself. Does she look like a beautiful woman or not? And honestly, I think she's gorgeous, but you be the judge.
Chasing shadows, just enjoy.